I'm Bobby Huynh, and let's queer up sports. Science finds no athletic edge for trans women. A new scientific review is challenging one of the most common claims used against trans inclusion in sports. A new analysis of 52 studies suggests trans women do not have a competitive fitness advantage over cisgender women after undergoing hormone replacement therapy. Researchers involved data from PubMed, Web of Science, Embase, and Sports Discuss. This reviewing data from nearly 6,500 people aged 14 to 41. That group consists of nearly 3,000 trans women, along with over 2,300 trans men, and include hundreds of cis women and cis men. The finding shows that after months of hormone therapy, trans women demonstrate strength and fitness levels comparable to cisgender women. Researchers find no measurable differences in upper and lower body strength or in maximal oxygen consumption, a key indicator of athletic performance. While trans women retained slightly higher muscle mass than cis women after 1 to 3 years of hormone therapy, they also had significantly higher fat mass, further countering claims of athletic dominance. The scientists behind the review emphasized the need for fairness and inclusion, writing, quote, "Continued research in physiological as well as psychosocial trajectories among transgender athletes with diverse demographics and clinical characteristics remain essential for developing equitable framework that balance justice, inclusion, and scientific rigor." End quote. For LGBTQ audience, the message is clear. Science continues to affirm fairness, not fear. Well, kudos for the scientists who did the study, and I believe that I also just want to point out that a lot of times transphobic behavior in sports come from very unexpected places. We have already know, the fifth place finisher who finished fifth place behind a bunch of cis women and still complaining that she co-finished the fifth place with a trans woman.
Same with AOC who put it best to her, saying you should have just swam faster.
But secondly, I remember stories that were involved like professional dart players and pool players, like snooker players, who complain about inclusion of trans athletes in their sports. I'm like, you play darts. Yeah. This is not, this is not a 400-meter sprint. Why would there be like a special advantage? And now apparently the boxer, the Algerian boxer who was being accused as being trans by American outlets for just because that she is a masculine presenting cis woman, is now just told the press that she is willing to submit to gender testing in order to prove that she's cisgender for the Olympics come 2028, which I find that to be absolutely unnecessary, but also speaks to how transphobia has seeped into the very fabric of sports, even international sports competition like the bloody Olympics.
Well, I have a broken record on this sometimes, but I always try to remind people, when we're talking about trans sports, we're not talking about trans murders. That's the whole reason the right-wing media wants us talking about trans sports. I'm not shocked that, lo and behold, when you look at a bunch of people, you're like, oh, there's nowhere near as many varied differences between trans and cis people. To be perfectly honest, everybody, there's not that many physical differences between random man and random woman. Like,
especially when
sports,
especially at high-level sports.
Well, like, this is the thing. It's like, most sports things, what matters is not what your sex or gender is. What matters is your height, your weight, your muscle mass. So, like, if you put me against China in a wrestling match, I'm gonna die. Like, it does not matter that I am born male. It does not matter at all. This is so crazy. And, like, at the end of the day, like, so much of like sports being a competition is kind of absurd. Like, you either have a physical body that can do X or not, and your body can only do so much, and that's okay, and we shouldn't really be comparing each other. I know, I'm on my pinko commie horse on that one.
If you're going to go pinko commie, let's talk about how China and Russia, well, especially China, has a history of being dodgy about testing results, or even
or how the American media claims that, which we have no interest in trying to look like we're better than them.
Sure,
Never.
Not the suspiciously young-looking female gymnasts who claim
there are over a billion people people in China, I'm sure they can find 2 or 3 competitive athletes for every sport. Like, come on, like just the sheer statistical odds in their favor.
But this is about stacking the medals. This is about national pride, not really about athletic prowess. At some points in the Olympics has always been part athletic competition, part national.
I was going to say part. I don't think we should get into that because it's a little bit like a prop-up dictatorship. People remember Germany during Hitler got to host the Olympics. I think that's irrelevant. I think what's relevant here is trans people are people.
Yes.
And we should allow people to play sports. Well, and like skill, and I don't mean physical press, like the actual like ability to have skill, to figure out the right tactic, the right way, that should matter in sports.
Well, and I'm looking back. I mean, I'm having a flashback, and it might seem a little off the track, but I remember being in elementary school and junior high, even high school, and playing, co-ed gym classes. And there were many women who were better than some of the guys. It's, so...
Depending on the day, sometimes the girls were like 9 times better than all the boys because the boys were just goofing off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the boys get better and become incels.
But thank God for studying.
Well, you really nailed it, Bobby, on that one, and that is it. And there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBT stories by sharing them, subscribing to Queer News Tonight.